So, dear viewers, next up is the Drupa Cube. And don't worry if you have missed out on any of the sessions here today, because they'll be available for you on the video library here at Virtual Drupa. Individually from next week, you've got the whole stream that you can look at already this week. Now, I've heard that digitalization polarizes the print industry as it does other industries. And in print, you're either an analog champion or a digital crusader. On Monday, we heard the discussion about man versus machine, and now that discussion will be continued in analog versus digital. It's my pleasure to welcome back a man who's been writing about print for his whole life, and he is a leading authority on print in the UK and Europe. A very warm welcome to the owner, publisher, and editor of Print Business, Gareth Ward. And joining Gareth is from Komori Europe, marketing manager Peter Minis, welcome to you, and from Koenig Bauer, head of product and marketing, key account manager Europe, Sascha Fischer, herzlich willkommen, and one more from Digital Direct Technologies. Welcome back. Steve Knight has been here at Virtual Drupa a couple of times this week. Over to you guys.
Okay, are we on?
Yes, you are. We can hear you loud and clear. You can start your panel discussion.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you, Tanya, for that introduction. And as you say, the debate between analog, for which we will understand to be litho printing, and digital printing has been going on for a while. I think since Drupa 95, really. So Drupa 95 saw the introduction of some digital printing technologies. Drupa 2000, it was getting heated up. Some of us who were there remember the dogfights in the sky between Xerox and Heidelberg that time. By 2008, that was the first inkjet Drupa. 2012 was the second inkjet Drupa. 2016 was the third inkjet Drupa, whether that was standard inkjet or Benny Lander nanography style inkjet. And now 2021, we're virtually there. But companies still exist. So we now need to know, is Drupa 2021 the time to retire your litho press? Sascha, you work for a company which is steeped in litho press technology, is in analog printing technology for more than 200 years. Are you about to disappear and replace all those litho presses should commercial printers replace their litho presses with digital ones, or is there life left in litho?
I think there's a lot of life left. Obviously, we haven't been standing still for the last 200 years. And if you look at our machines now, I mean, they're really a printing robot more than anything else. While maybe 50, 60 years ago, we talked of make-ready times of hours, we're now counting seconds. And at the same time, the operator is more managing its machine rather than operating it. So if you look at the figures there, since it's a master-bound technology, variable costs are well, almost negligible. So you have initial fixed costs for make-ready, but because of make-ready times being that short, cost per sheets come down, cost discretion works for us. So depending on the application, we find litho still very competitive anywhere as of 200 sheets up. So for us, it's not really litho or digital. It's really the two complementing each other, and then, as you say in good English, courses for courses. So we see a bright future for litho, but at the same time, yes, we watch and develop digital applications as well.
So are you about to tell us that had you been in Hall 17, we would be seeing a commercial digital press from Koenig Bauer, or is that sometime in the future?
No, you would definitely have been seeing one, as we introduced in our earlier session here at Virtual Drupa. We've got the Varijet 106 up for launch. We're starting beta testing soon, and there it's even a more complex concept where we talk of a hybrid digital machine. So we take the best actually of both worlds, where we have, based on the Rapida toolbox or LEGO system, infeed, feeder, varnishing units as primer units, and delivery dryers, all coming from our toolbox of our long proven Rapida technology. We've implemented a digital print unit on top. and that's especially dedicated for the folding carton as a start. But overall, as Koenig Bauer, you'll see a digital strategy all across our different business units.
Steve, is this somebody clinging on to a technology that should now be retired, and that digital finally, almost 15, 25 years after it first arrived, is now ready for the main stage?
It's a contentious issue. I think there's sufficient conventional press capacity. So those machines, it's sunk cost, and there's always going to be things that are better printed using that methodology, whether it's litho or gravure. Those still have places in print. They're not going to disappear. What we've seen is very, very rapid evolution in digital print technology. And I think sometimes people are really just looking at the print element, but there's an awful lot of other technologies that make that digital print happen. The vast quantity of data, if we look at the data processing, if we look at Moore's law in computing, that's driving digital print. Our ability to do lot size 1 becomes real, not because of what we're actually printing, but because we can handle the data that goes into the printer. Also, I tend to look at the background technology, so developments in the print heads, in the inks, in the vision systems inspection. So I'm looking at core technology that will come into printers in perhaps 5 years' time. So I can see a continual evolution. We've got fantastic products today, but our evolution hasn't finished. So digital will continue to displace more and more conventional printing.
So do you think it will get to 50%, 60% of the volume that is now printed on being produced digitally? I mean, let's take it, it's around, I don't know, 15 to 20% now. How far will it go?
Interesting. If I go back a very long time ago to studying electronics, we were told everything that is analog will become digital.
I think.
And people didn't believe it. Now that was in electronics, and of course, digitization has happened. Our early mobile phones were analog systems. We forget those. Now all digital phones are digital. Sorry, mobile phones are digital. And I think in print, everything will become digital, apart from the novelty print that's done using antiquated methods. It's a question of time. Are we talking 5, 10, 50 years? So yes, it will become digital. It's just when.
So Peter, are your customers, Komori customers, coming to you and saying, we want digital now? And you're saying, yeah, maybe not just now, maybe buy another litho press. Our litho presses, as Sasha said, we're competitive at 200 sheets in terms of make readies. Or are we now at that point where more people are going to be buying digital than are going to be buying conventional analog processes?
Sure, we do have customers which are approaching Komori with a specific interest for digital. I mean, that's also a good position for Komori. We offer both digital printing applications and offset applications. So we're also able to take the customer along this journey and see what is best for his product portfolio. And I think that's also pretty much key towards how you want to serve a customer, how you want to see how can you fill the gaps within his needs. That's really important. We need to put the customers at the central point and really see what his needs are. But for sure, we have customers who are approaching Komori who've already got a mindset on digital, so they're fully focused on digital. But also in many occasions, we go along together with the customer and discover his true intentions for new investments. What is his priority? What does the expectations from his customers are, which is really important to evaluate. I think Sasha also pointed out during his opening speech that offset also made significant steps with reduced changeover times to absolute minimum. So yeah, in many occasions, offset is also still a really good solution and also the best solution. Yeah.
So it's for your customers, it's about the applications that they're doing will help them decide which direction to go.
Yeah, I think the application is a really good indication where to start your search. I mean, the run length is obviously a parameter which is easy to take out and to evaluate expectations, but also finishing processes or yeah, the placement inside the production chain itself. I mean, if you purchase a new equipment piece, it's not just a piece of equipment that you put somewhere in a factory. It needs to fit within a full process, and that's really important.
So we're not talking about quality at all, Steve. I mean, I mean, for many, many years, we look at a digital press and people say, finally, it's a litho printing quality. And I'm sure that many of the people here who are selling digital presses are saying, we can match litho printing quality. Can they?
It's a very, very interesting question. And I think every print technology, whether you're looking at screen, litho, gravure, potato printing, digital printing, whether it's with toner or with inkjet, they've all got different characteristics. You can see what a print has been printed with. Digital inkjet will print some images far, far better than litho. There's certain images that will look superior on one print technology than with another. There's also technologies that we've developed specifically for a print application. Things like trapping is necessary when you have print towers to cope with the minor misregistration. You don't need trapping on an inkjet print because it's all done within one tower effectively. So as we evolve more technologies to manipulate the image relative to the print technology, we will see superior images printed on each of the technologies. So it's not, can it match this? It can exceed it, but we need to know how to prepare our image. So it's down to the graphic artists of how can we prepare our image for our print technology to exploit the maximum quality of that print technology. Business cards, letterpress is best, but we don't print them with letterpress, we use offset. So yeah, can we match letterpress with litho? Challenging, but we don't care anymore. My early business cards from a print company, they insisted we had letterpress business cards.
And we do still. Our business cards are letterpress because it's the best technology.
Yeah, but I think, sorry. Yeah, I think we're really past that quality discussion, to be honest. I mean, yes, there was the benchmark of offset litho quality in the past. I think there, and then with all respect, digital printing technologies have caught up by far. And again, there, what is the concern with regards to quality to the customers of our customers? I think more decisive, as Peter mentioned, is really what is the business case behind the customer? Behind our print shop as a customer. So, and also what is the application looked for by the customers of our customers, be it the consumer, the ad agency, or industrial goods manufacturer. So I think that's decisive what technology is to be used and for what application.
Can I just come in there, Sash, for a moment? An interesting thing which I noticed several years ago when we were starting digital print, and the first market was grand format, or perhaps coding and marking, but grand format printing, the viewing distance is in excess of 10 meters.
Yes.
But the customer's viewing distance, not the user, the customer's viewing distance is perhaps 70 centimeters. And the equipment buyer's viewing distance was through a loop. But it's not just about fit for purpose, it's also about customers' expectations. Certainly you don't need high resolution for large billboard prints, but it was demanded by the customer. So print quality is quite a emotive discussion, and to say it is about application, it is about the buyer's buyer, but it's also sometimes just about having a better image than the competitor as well.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's what I was really saying there, is who's expecting what and for what purpose with regards to quality. And I obviously at the moment as we speak, but then technology will keep on developing and improving further. There are certain finishing applications you're not there yet with digital. There are first obviously technologies there with regards to Scodix or other digital finishing equipment, but then certain effects which are common for litho can't be just reached yet with digital, and especially not in industrial setup. So that there again, there's some difference there. But then again, as you said, what is the purpose?
So, Peter, I mean, we've seen Komori do, and we've seen Koenig Bauer do the same thing as well. Buying some of those other technologies, the finishing technologies, or with the purchase last year of the MBO folding company, and you also supply Agility. Is it now not so much selling a press, but selling a system that customers are looking for? It's that end-to-end integration.
Yeah, I think that's something which is clearly noticeable, and I think for everybody who's seen also the live sessions during the Drupa, it really has become the theme of the day. I mean, how do you integrate your piece of equipment into a complete production facility from A to Z? That's really important. I mean, you want to remove all the bottlenecks, make sure that you've got a very good integrated piece of equipment inside your production facility. Yeah, and that also involves looking further towards the chain after production of print. What will happen to the sheet? How can we deliver this in time to the end user? That's all very important questions to ask yourself. So that's also something that Komori has to put down a real effort on, to see how we can maximize this and look further than just the printing process only. Yeah.
So that's that at the moment, folding, cutting, die stamping.
Yeah, exactly. But also on the software part, that's also really important. The connectivity, the feedback of information forwards and backwards through the production equipment. So basically, providing the full set. Yeah.
So to that extent, the physical processes are becoming digital in themselves.
Yeah, I think so. That's something that the process itself also can be named digital, of course. And in the end, how you produce it, it doesn't matter if it's offset or digital or whatever. It's not really important, as long as if you can produce the end result in the most efficient and quick way. That's the most important. That's what matters.
So speed, accuracy,
but quality. Also expectations towards quality, everything combined. Yeah.
Is this your experience, Sasha?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and to be honest, I mean, obviously now our machines run at 20,000 sheets an hour, but then if the plates aren't there in time, there is no sense. It's all about productivity from start to finish. So in order to increase that productivity, or as simply spoken, net sheets on the floor, sellable products for the customer, it's really, you have to look at the whole process. And we've worked very hard on that system, I would say system integration, be it going further than just getting ink profiles from prepress. Why don't we get additional presetting data from prepress, or let's say the management of your production from a dedicated MES or MIS system, integrate finishing processes, integrate warehouse management processes. So that's, I think, what Steve mentioned also by digitalization. Everything that can get digital will become digital in the process, along the process chain. So it's not only digital print, that's one output technology, you could say, depending what your application is. It's more about the digitalization of the processes with regards to workflow.
So we become part of a digital world. Steve, you were talking about how digital printing integrates into this world of databases, data flows. How do you see that moving forwards in the next few years?
I think those that exploit technology are the winners if it's done properly. And you can see some of the huge printers, the PixArts, the Vistaprints, the Simpress Group. They're digital companies. Print is a very, very small part of their business. And I think, we can see that. They use a lot of analog print, a lot of digital, a lot of different print technologies, whether it's T-shirts, pens, or brochures. It's a massive IT business that's driving it. The print is a fairly small element of that. And I think that's, that is the exploitation of digital print.
So very quickly, one word answer before we finish, and before Tanya tells us that we've overstayed our welcome. Should a printer now go out and buy a digital press or a further litho press? Sasha?
Look at your business model, look at especially your business strategy. Where do you see your company in the future? Definitely, we see quite a few investing in digital printing just to get a foot on it, to make first experiences there, since digital printing will become a complementary technology. But please make up your mind first. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve with that? Rather than having it as a glorified proofing printer or mock-up printer in the corner. Where is your business model? Where do you see your strategy?
Peter, should a customer printer go and buy a digital press or a litho press or a Komori press?
Yeah, I just coming to Komori is always a good sign. No, sure, no question about it. But it's really important, like Sasha was mentioning, a clear presentation of your business model. That's really important. What are your expectations and what are your objectives with the new investment? And we are really looking forward to discover this together with our customers. That's for sure.
Steve.
I think digital print, it's lot size 1. If you're doing short run, you're doing a lot of lot size 1s. If you're doing fully variable print, it's lot size 1. You're dealing with a lot of different technologies. This isn't your father's printing press. This is a totally different business. You need to re-engineer your business if you're going to exploit the technology. I would say invest in education first.
Okay, understand what's going on. So this has been the debate in 2021. Drupa comes back in 2024. I suspect that we'll be back in 2024 having the same discussion, maybe with some different points. The progress will have been made. Maybe we may be reading the last rights for litho printing then, but certainly not at the moment. Tanya, thank you very much. I think it's over to you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your very lively contribution to the discussion, analog versus digital. That was Gareth Ward and Steve Knight over in the UK. And thank you to Komori Europe, Peter Meanies, and Koenig Bauer's Sasha Fischer. Hope to see you here in 2024.
Definitely.